What's up? What's up? Welcome back, episode 2 of Marcus Uninterrupted. Call this a Friday night special. I said it, I wasn't sure because I said yesterday, and I mean it. I'm doing 5 days a week. Okay, with the plan to be here between the hours, it's about 6 p.m. going to 5:52. Let's say plan to be here hours between 6 and 7 p.m. 5 nights a week. Okay. One again, I love this here. I noticed I was watching somebody else's live earlier, and seeing the comments pop up, it's kind of hilarious because one, you got people in somebody's live. I'm laughing not because the comments are funny. I'm laughing because of the experience. I'm laughing because of the comedy of it. What Shakespeare meant by tragedy and comedy is like this is what we live in. We live in a world where you gotta laugh to keep from crying at just about everything, and it's perfect segues type thing. Um, that's what I'm talking about today, like vulnerability and crying. I was gonna record this morning. I spent my first hour or so of the morning. I made a whole new playlist today called HennyNBA. I was listening to some Young Boy. I don't listen to Young Boy like that. Last time I listened to Young Boy a lot was back in high school. Actually, when AI Young Boy 2 came out, I was in love with AI Young Boy 2, so I listened to that quite a bit. But this is why I love my chair. I can do this. Yeah, I found myself listening to some Young Boy today, and man, that lonely child. I've been hearing recently in my head about last week. I keep hearing, I pay for therapy. My thoughts ahead of me, man. I get a Young Boy. I've felt a way about him ever since he did the Rap Radar interview with with B Dot and LA Wilson. I think it was last year, maybe into 2023. Man, it might have been before that. That might have been 2 years ago. Wow. That probably was 2023 because I talked about it on Twitter, and I haven't used Twitter. Yeah, so I said that to say that interview was so interesting because Youngboy did not talk. It controls side. Most of the interview was weird. I notice I just said control for a reason. I was thinking about that last week too, like thinking about his therapist. You think his therapist calls him Young Boy? Like do you think his therapist be like, now Young Boy, or does she like now Kentrell? But it's probably weird to call him Kentrell. But he's a little different because he goes by the name Kentrell. Like he literally got an album called Sincerely Kentrell. Um, yeah, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, yo, this man in this interview, I can picture it back. So I'm listening to the song. I forget how deep Young Boy is, like how real, how vulnerable he is. Young Boy make you want to cry. I think I was telling my mom last week about the popular loner thing, how my era, I remember in high school when the popular loner vibe became a big thing. And it was like, it was cool to be the guy that knew everybody, but kept to yourself. And well, yeah, I guess you look at it a handful of years later and realize it doesn't necessarily bode you well. That's not true. You get a lot of relationships out of it, but you learn how to be with self. I've known how to be by myself and with myself for a long time. I mean, I think back to, it's not new. That's just when it became, there was a name to it. I think back to one of my mom's favorite stories about me back in the days. She said she used to have to leave me at home alone when I was like 7. I guess I was staying home alone. She was at work one day, and her friend comes to check on me, knocks on the door. I open the door in my robe. She said, "Gee, they were coming to make sure I'm safe." He called her like, "Marcus is good. He in the house like he Hugh Hefner." I laugh. I'm like, but that's kind of part of it. And I bet even Hugh Hefner. I'm sure everybody said, "What a life." I'm sure every male wanted to be Hugh Hefner. Everybody's looking at it saying, "My goodness, that guy's doing exactly what he wants to do. Look at him living the life." I promise you, when those parties ended, he was lonely. He may not have been alone. I promise you. He would be at the parties. I promise you, Hugh Hefner lived a lonely life. And that's not maybe a bad thing. They say success is lonely. Like, it's lonely at the top. What I realize is, especially, I kind of reached the top at a young age because I don't know, I've always been so secure with myself. I've always known me. I've always been able to be known. One of my mottos back in high school was duality. Like duality is, self-awareness is the human best trait, but like duality is the ability to balance between the masculine and feminine, to hold space for both sides of yourself. I knew at the age of 14, 15, 16 what that meant. Now I'm living it, and in the aspect of living it in real time, that's the lonely thing. Because success is nothing but what you define it to be, and for me, success is a life of constant learning. But I want a legacy of learning and leadership, love. That's my 3 words. It's my 4 words: legacy, love, learning, and leadership. Add a 5th one: liberation. I could go forever. Longevity. Y'all remember back in the day they used to play in school? They did games where you would do stuff like name as many words as you could that start with a certain letter. I say we do games like that would be an assignment, but there's a group of students who play games like that in the world history class I was just in this past school year. I laugh because it's different these days. It's still cool to be preppy, like the preppy kids. Maybe not still cool to be preppy. It's cool to not try, and that's where, like I said, where it came from with us was it was cool to not try. It was cool to look like you were succeeding without trying. The CEO of Wildcat Management, Tanya Reagan, who was my CEO during my internship in 2022, her motto is perception is reality. Like she gonna run that word, perception is reality. And I heard it so much that you hear something so often it becomes ingrained, but you start to question, like, well, what are you talking about? What do you mean by that? Clearly you believe it. What do you mean? And clearly you've reached a level of success, so you're living by this principle, so it must mean something. That, I think, is a lot of what sent me toward the psychology route as well. I already picked it before that, but I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, what is she? No, perception really is reality. Reality is reality. Perception is perception, but perception also is reality. That's a whole separate game plan that I promise I got 6, 7 videos on my live streams on my Instagram that I'm sure go into this. I know there's some stuff that goes, I know it. My point here is the popular loner era, it was cool. Like I remember how often we would say, I didn't even try on that test. I didn't try for real. And we probably weren't. You don't have to try to be who you are. The point is just but we got so lost. Perception was indeed reality. We were perceived as not having to try because we didn't. But when you don't understand the reality behind the perception, or the reality, the reality behind the perception, or the perception behind the reality, you can't do what I do if you don't know why I do what I do, right? Or how I do what I do. If you're not willing to have a conversation about what I do, then to just reenact the thing I did, not only are you not going to be able to eat, I could tell you exactly how I did it. I could show you, I could give you count, I could model your body to do it. Like I could make you do it, and you're still going to do it the way you do it because you're the one doing it. Okay. When he say my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways, that applies across the board. My thoughts aren't your thoughts, my ways ain't your ways, and that's fine. Is there more than one way to skin a cat? Absolutely. As long as we get the cat skin, I'm not too worried about it. Now, there are more efficient, more effective, more logical ways to get things done. Sometimes the less efficient, less effective, less logical ways don't get the thing done. And that's the issue. Like that, those are things that space has to be held for, right? You can be as smart as you want to be. But if I say, I didn't try on the test because I really didn't, and I got the grade I got. So say I didn't try on the test, and I didn't. And I didn't get an amazing grade, but I could have gotten better had I tried. You hear that and you think, oh, easy test. And it probably is to you because if you're smarter than me. But you go in there and not try, and you're going to get a lower grade. You're still going to get a decent grade, and you're going to be able to walk away and say you didn't try. but are not trying ain't the same thing. Or I guess that would maybe reverse. I'm thinking that split. The individual who had to try, and then they go in, because I hear that a lot, right? Somebody be like, I hear, man, that test was so easy by somebody who got a better grade. I didn't even try on it. And then I hear the person who got a lower grade say they didn't try either. Yeah, are you sure you didn't try? Or maybe you didn't, and maybe that's the problem. You see what I'm saying? Perception is reality, yes, but my perception ain't your reality. My perception is my reality. You can change my perception based on your reality. So if you come and be like, hey bro, that test we just took was tough. By the way, I just had to do a quick cheese real quick. I'm sorry, today I was out of DP sitting under a tree on a bench, and I'm looking at myself, not looking at myself, I'm taking a couple pictures. Let's say, you look good, boy. This is happy, healthy Henny boy, as I call myself. This is as certified, easy, beautiful, breezy, beautiful thugger boy, thugger girl, like from that game, whatever. What's the brand? L'Oreal? Okay, one of the cosmetic. Cover girl. Easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl. I'm calling this episode HennyNBA. Henny never broke again. Henny having been my nickname that nobody really calls. That's one thing. I don't have a good nickname. Never had a good nickname. I always wanted a good nickname. Never had a good nickname. TJ once called me the H-Nick. He pulled up and was like, H-Nick. I was like, yeah, I like it, but I get it. I see it. It's not really a nickname, though. It's not, it don't flow the same. Excuse me. So, like I was saying, the reason I'm calling it HennyNBA is that's the playlist I made today. This morning was a moment. Call it a reckoning. Call it a reset, a resurrection, whatever you need. Like I'm in my closet in the dark, listening to my music this morning, and it's been raining. Like it's been raining this as the summer has begun. But today, and I expected it. Like I knew it. I told myself yesterday, I didn't sleep well. I knew I wasn't going to sleep. I couldn't fall asleep. And I had thought about going. I was like, I want to go for a run. But wearing contacts right now, I'm trying not. I take my glasses off when I go do any physical activity, and I want to be able to see. I'm like, well, I don't have any lights or anything, and I haven't been running in period. I walk all the time. I walk a lot. But I haven't been running because I don't have. This is me. I'm like, yes, dude, just go run. I get it. I understand. But wireless headphones. I hate running with wired headphones. It's too much. So I was like, okay, I need to get wired. But I wanted to take a run last night, and I didn't because I was in the darkness and everything. So I told myself I was going to this morning. And I didn't end up running. And then by the time I got out, the reason I want to start running is the way I walk. I think it's ever since the Olympics. When they put speed walking in the Olympics, I'm like, yo, I could do that. I'm a fast walker, okay? I'm a fast walker. I've been walking fast enough that I could be out here running. And my body will want to, like it literally is like picking up and like trying to get me to. And sometimes I'll get a quick burst in, but then the wire gets in my way and then, so. And I realized that I have a strap that I pull over my back where the phone goes, but I hadn't been putting it in there with the wired headphones. I felt like it was too dangly, but I had a whole I could see it. This morning I could see myself, and that's part of it, right? Perception is reality. If you can perceive it, you can achieve it. Because all it takes is to see it up here. I love Jalen Santor at the end of the song, Mama Loves Me. He says, his mom told me, you can never achieve something you can't articulate. Man, I live by that. God spoke the world into existence. First there was the word was God, like that. The word, everything is a word, it's a word. Speak what you see until you see what you speak. Perception is reality based off, as I was talking about yesterday, that sense thing, yeah, anyway. I was seeing myself run this morning. Which there's something funny about that too, is the way that perception can be reality, and yet it's not. The reality is I did indeed follow through on what I planned to do. But it didn't look at all like I perceived it to look, because in reality, that's not who I am yet. I think that's the thing right there. Hear what I'm saying? Yeah, hear what I'm saying. In the space of constantly becoming, you can perceive something here, and your reality not like your physical reality not look the same. But your psychological perception have one thing up here. Your imagination, you be thinking one thing, have an expectation. You put whatever word you want to. You can perceive something up here, and your reality out here not match it, because it just hasn't caught up yet. And maybe that's what imagining things is, right? You can have imagination and then imagine things. To imagine something is to momentarily see it, to momentarily perceive it, but it not exist in reality because you haven't yet put it out. That's what I mean, manifestation as a process, it is a process. Imagination is a part of it. Manifestation goes imagination, articulation, manifestation. You got to see it, speak it, see it. Speak what you see until you see what you speak. The speaking starts up here. Anyway, I don't even know how I got there. I think I do. Perception is real. Oh, me running, right? So this morning, I didn't run, but I wake up and like I'm looking out the window and realize like it's obviously a beautiful morning. It's obviously a beautiful morning. And I'm cycling through thoughts of what my first thing of the day should be. I have my routine and ritual in general and like good habits. If that's one thing I have become is lifestyle design. Like I know how to build new habits. I know how to break old ones. I can go back to old ways and find new. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I don't know whether that's true or not. But I know that this young dog is gonna learn all the new tricks he can before he gets there. So that in case it's possible, this would have been why. Like if it is possible to teach an old dog new tricks, it's because the young dog never stopped learning new tricks. You know what I'm saying? He learned to teach himself new. He learned that to learn something new every day, you got to be teaching yourself almost the same thing every day. Set your mind on things about. I don't know. Here, what I'm gonna go ahead and say. That's how cold I am. This 17 minutes, I really could rap right there. You watch this for 20 minutes. You could watch this over and over again for the rest of your life and probably get something different out of it. I'm my leg. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's all connected. I'm not learning anything different than me. I have a PhD in Marcus E. Hendricks, Jr. Shout out to the GOAT. I'm talking about God. My dad's like GOAT 2. I'm like GOAT 3. Jay-Z's like GOAT 4. J. Cole's like GOAT 5. J. Cole's like GOAT. Let me not say who GOAT 5 is. Y'all gonna get mad. No, you will. You know what? How about this? Elon. Bro. Come on now. What is going on? What are we doing? I want to get into that so bad. I want to touch that so bad. I also want to know why nobody's happy with Lil Wayne's album. I didn't listen to it. Okay, here's what I definitely, the first song I like. King Carter's cool, and then Welcome to the Carters is fire. But here's why I got an issue with Wayne. And I've had an issue with Wayne for a while for the same reason. Bro, you too old for all that. I need you to, you still talking about putting thumbs in women's butt? What are we doing? It's 2025, y'all. Let's do better. I said it's a Friday night. I don't know. Maybe I might. This world is hilarious. It's insane. And it's beautiful. The insanity is not beautiful. The world is beautiful. The insanity is scary. not okay. It's sick. There's a sickness running around. That's what I'm saying. Like going back to the, I had tears yesterday. I had a moment yesterday where I chose not to be vulnerable because I was thinking, I'm like, literally my thought was, who cares? Not who cares in the context. I know people care. I know the human moments are what we're looking for. And if you haven't heard every AI CEO over the past 3 months talk about it, humanity is about to go away. Here's what I'll tell you. The reason they're pushing so fast is because it went away a long time ago. What I'm always saying, and I'm trying to get people to, like, I try not to, if you hear me all the time, I love to say, not to toot my own horn, but I'm like, beep, beep, sometimes you gotta beep, let people know you're there. At least to let you know I'm here. Maybe I need maybe I need that. To just one good one. You gotta pay attention. The ice cream song or something, because I tell you. I was like, it's like a group project. I'm a 24-year-old black dude, born on the south side of Chicago, that's lived in North Texas. It's almost like my my about bio at this point. Marcus E. Hendricks Jr., CEO of Alternative Capital, CEO of the Hendricks Company, fund manager of Alternative Capital, 24-year-old black dude from the south side of Chicago, born on the south side of Chicago that's grown up in Denton, Texas, studying psychology, political science, and philosophy, working with special education high schools. That's a hell of a bridge. Here, and I forget special education high schools, working with high schools. That's what I'll say, because I don't know. That may only make sense to people who work with students. It shouldn't. Everybody, I don't know. Can we still say remedial? Let me not say any R words. No R words. Not even my favorite R word. Revolution. Say one nine. I'm giving myself one revolution per episode. One revolution per episode. Anyway, the craziness of this world. ChatGPT made a good point the other day. If I'm, standing up, we all subconscious. I'm just the first to admit, right? If I'm standing up, hey, the truth is. A lot of other people are doing it too. I'm not gonna say they're not. It's the way that they're doing it where I'm like, it's the truth. And I know that you know it's the truth, but I wonder if you believe it's the truth. To know and to believe aren't the same thing. Especially when it comes to truth. That's why we live in this age we're in. People know a whole lot and believe a bunch of dumb stuff. In this day and age, you have no excuse to not know. If you are a functioning human being in America, you have no excuse to not know. There are libraries. I'm telling you, hey, you want to read a book? Come grab one off my shelf. You can grab a book off my shelf. You ain't got to buy it. You ain't got to bring it back. I'll go buy another one. They make more. The library got free audiobook apps. I mean, you can, I think Harlan, what's her name? Harlan something. No. I can see it. Arlen Hamilton. This is a fund manager. I can't think what her fund is called right now, but I learned about her yesterday. She got a book, 2 books, but one is called My First Million. It's a 4-hour audiobook. This is how this works. If I go take a walk 4 days for 1 hour, every 4 mornings, go take an hour walk. I got fitter. I got more smart. It's fitter or where I got more fit, more smart, more productive. I didn't have to. I don't know. I didn't have to do that. It doesn't, it doesn't take much. And I try not to say stuff like that and don't like push it down people's throat but no, it really is all up here. That's why these things, the fact that I got 3 devices in front of me, here's the truth. I have Instagram on these phones for this purpose right here, and that is it. I have YouTube to watch sermons and for church and motivational speeches, and to watch CEOs talk, watch CEOs talk. That's really it. I'll watch the occasional interview. Speaking of, that's one thing. I plan to sit down. The first words out of my mouth be Shannon Sharp. I love Shannon. Hey, look, shout out to Shannon, man. That is a funny dude. I'm like, I've never seen. Hey, it feels like Vlad. Shannon's starting to feel like Vlad, just with his face on camera. I'm like, yo, is it true Cat Williams gave money to your brother? Man, how do you know that? Vlad and Nardwar and Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp all have the same source. They all have the same sources. The thing that ChatGPT was saying the other day was, I'm screaming in the wind, and then you got a bunch of people recording themselves screaming in the wind. Here's the thing, and while I'm like, yeah, we're screaming together, scream! And then they finish screaming, and they turn the camera off, and they're like, now how was that one? Wait a minute, whoa, I'm still screaming. What do you mean, how was that? Did you just perform? Did you just fake a scream? Did you just? Oh, okay. So then I look up and I'm like, well, I want to stop screaming, because they say, you put a circus in charge. You put a clown in charge, and the whole world's a circus. Well, if I start playing if perception is reality, and this is the perception, and this is the reality, and then I start playing the perception game, and now I'm living the same reality as everybody else, no matter how different I perceive it. I can perceive it how I want to, all I desire. It's still my reality interacting with other people's reality, interacting with their perception. And when I'm doing it the same reason you're doing what you're doing, but we're doing the same thing. And even more, if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, and you're only doing it because somebody told you this is what success looked like. Yeah, I tell you what, it is. It's exactly what success looks like. It's 100. They were right. Yep. Oh, they were right. It's what success looks like. And when you look up and realize, this doesn't look like success to me, because you didn't define it for yourself in the first place. That's what this is. That's what this is. The first episode of the Marcus Henry Show was called Who is Marcus Henry? I've listened back to it. My goodness, it's hilarious. I mean, to say, here's the thing, like when you start looking back at things retroactively, you start saying, I called it. Man, I called that. I knew that was going to happen. And then you start realizing, wait a minute. All I did was say what I was going to do and then do the thing I said. Gotcha. So if I'm just proactive as a habit, as a value system, proactive as a lifestyle then turns into simply active. So yes, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. That is my favorite. Bishop Jay's got a sermon where he said, go to sleep. That's why in general, I just don't have my phone around me much anymore. But for the most part, if you call me or text me and I don't reply for a while, I'm asleep. It's because I took a nap. I was napping. I'm a nap fiend. I tell you what, every successful person I know claims has admitted to taking naps. Genuinely. I cannot think. Obviously, that's not how that works, to think of one that doesn't, but I'm saying I can think of quite a few that have. So much so that all the ones I pay attention to, and I pay attention to a lot of them, they talk about naps. Sleep. The body keeps score. It does. And you know where it keeps score? Up here. That's why this whole competition, attention economy thing we're doing on social media is effing broken. You keep a score. We keep a score with each other based on based off our follower counts. We literally aren't doing the same thing. So a niche community here that has this amount of people involved in it versus this global conglomerate here that has this amount of people involved in it, the success isn't going to be the same thing for them. And the second this individual tries to do this person's thing without understanding the reason why, without recognizing that the outcome isn't going to be the same, even if I try to do the same thing. And that's the difference. By recognizing that the outcome won't be the same, I'm not doing the same thing and I'm not doing it for the same outcome. Inspiration and innovation are completely separate from copying. And that's what you can tell when somebody's copying what other people are doing, when somebody's jacking somebody's flow, for lack of better words, is that their frustration in the process. Because life is a journey, not a destination, right? It's all about the process, the road you take to get there. Because in the process, at some point you learn that the process is all there is. The journey is all there is. Life is a journey, not a destination, because the destination is death. What's happening here? That's one of the more annoying things that people do. I actually called about that. I think I called. I've been trying to get a noise ordinance out here. Because of this, like I want to, I mean, maybe after this, look, see me sweating, but that's it. I love being outside. If I felt like there weren't going to be people, I don't know, I may end up doing episodes with no shirt. Not to do episodes with no shirt, just because it'd be hot out here, and I'm not going to change up the flow. So if you see me out here shirtless, don't look at it and be like, why is he not wearing a shirt? Who cares? Genuinely. That's where I'm at today. Who cares? That's where I was yesterday. Who cares? That's where I'm at today. Who cares? I am about honesty, vulnerability, and I had in my bio at one point the acronym TAR, for truth, authenticity, realness, and vulnerability. That's what I stand behind. I don't really know much else, so much so that it's gotten me in trouble, a lot in trouble. No human being can get me in trouble. My mama will get me. That's not how that works. Those are the things I'm starting to understand. Like, you cannot get me in trouble for me being me. You can be upset with me. You cannot like what I do. All that is fine and dandy. It's not going. It literally will not change who I am, and I'm not going to stop being who I am. But I'm also not the person who's going to tell somebody you just got to accept it. Like, there's a conversation. There's a reason that bothers you. There's a reason you don't like it. Let's talk about it. Because it possibly that you don't understand, you're not fully understanding why I'm doing what I'm doing, and that simple context changes the content. That's why, like, intention and impact, intention does matter. That's why I'm so adamant on thinking. Not thinking for the sake of thinking, not what we think thinking is. Right? What I mean, like when I say that's first think is no, is synonymous with no, but also believe, like I said in the beginning, right? It's the belief and knowledge in one type thing. Not even believing or knowing. It's believing that you know, almost. Like we believe that we know what thinking is. But unless you're thinking about what thinking is and how you think and how others think and how they interconnect, you don't know anything. I'm hard pressed to believe that you have any real beliefs. None of them. They're the reason I say I'm not going to stop being who I am is because I've made a choice to be who I am. The only reason you get to choose that is to get curious about what your choices are, to know your choices, right? That's what I look at. Like I say, life is a series of constant choice points. Whether you recognize it or not, we are always making decisions. That's why, like the value system, the subconscious, like if you've reprogrammed your thoughts to operate a certain way, having dominion, being transformed by the renewing of your mind, discernment. So now my thoughts in real time are thinking. I'm thinking. So I'm right now, that's why I laugh. Like when I do these videos, I used to, like when I do them for myself, and that's why I love this. I will sometimes do it to me to prove that it's happening. Like I will sit there and watch myself think. And you're saying words right now, and every word that comes out of your mouth, you are deciding to say it. And creating your life. Like goodbye. I'm out of here. This is $1 trillion worth of game for zero cents. Goodbye. Peace. I love everybody.